Okay, good. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. We'll begin with the reflections on universal well-being. May I abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all be released from all suffering, and may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. When they act upon intention, all beings are the owners of their action and inherit its results. Their future is born from such action, companion to such action, and results will be their home. All actions with intention, be they skillful or harmful, of such acts they will be the heirs. Continue to follow Reverend Heng and Marty on their pilgrimage. So today's entry is by Dharma Master Heng Chau, or Marty, March 29th, 1978, titled, Keep Your Room Clean and Orderly. Bowing in the cold rain, tall fir and pine lines the steep, rocky, Big Sur slopes that plunge straight down into the sea. Quiet gray outside, lots of time and room to explore inside. During our recitation of Guanin's name yesterday, an experience that the asphalt, the grass, trees, and stars were our ancestors. The air, water, wind, and earth were the children to come. And yet, there is no today, yesterday, or tomorrow. The entire substance of the universe was one, without beginning or end, loss or addition. One boundless, ageless body, where the many were the one, and the one was the many. The Avatamsaka preface says, deep and wide and interfused, vast and great, and totally complete. It rocked me for a second, maybe because I couldn't find a me in this picture. But something in the chanting, Namo Guan Shi Ying Pusa, Namo Guan Shi Ying Pusa, made everything okay and turned my fear into a big smile. Messy room. Someone watching us clean up the car after lunch comments, it must give you a certain amount of satisfaction to have everything neat and in its place. I remembered our first night in LA. Heng Shi and I shared a small room in the back of the temple. The master looked in after morning recitation to see a veritable pigsty. Our clothes, bags, and belongings were scattered and draped wherever they landed as we threw them. Keep your room clean and orderly, said the master. A clean way place can cause someone to bring forth the Bodhi mind. Later in the master's room, I noticed how peaceful and clear I felt. I observed the master had very few possessions lying about. The room was orderly and simple, not cluttered. There was a sense of expansiveness and room to receive people. Why would a teacher bother with such a seemingly trivial matter is the disciple's messy room. Deal with the hard while it is still easy, with the great while it is still small. Small habits and faults soon snowball into major character flaws. A sloppy room or appearance conceals a scattered mind. Left uncorrected while small and close at hand, this messy room grows to become a major obstruction to one's karma in the way. It's an outflow. One's energy dribbles away into 1,000 loose ends of a disorganized lifestyle. There is no concentration. The mind is unable to be still and quiet. To be successful in cultivating the way requires a fine and subtle maneuvering in the realm of cause and effect. Every step must be right. Each act, word, and thought cannot be a fraction off the mark. So there's a saying in Buddhism, bodhisattvas fear causes, not results. The result is included in the cause. The fruit is determined by the seed. Bodhisattvas know that what happens to them comes from the karma they create. So they tread with care and do not overlook the smallest affair. Lao Tzu says, everything great must be dealt with while it is still small. Therefore, the sage never has to deal with the great, and so achieves greatness. I like that. The sage never has to deal with the great, and so achieves greatness. Right? So, because everything he attends to is small, but he does every small act skillfully. So Mari's talking about cleaning our rooms. It's like a very mundane thing to mention, but he says how important it is. So I'm just giving some reflection on it. First, of course, I think about how's my room doing, and it's not extremely messy, but it's also not extremely neat. And so a little bit like maybe I should clean it up a little bit more. But it's an interesting reflection about the importance of keeping the areas around us neat and orderly, starting with our rooms. And it's in to say we make a dedication of merit every day, wishing that we can adorn the Buddha lands. But perhaps the first thing to start with is adorning our own room that we live in. So that when we wake up, it's not a pigsty, but actually reminds us of the Pure Land, reminds us of the Dharma. And then little bit by little bit, we create an environment that is in attune with that intention. And little bit by little bit, you can say the Pure Land is created. In the evenings, Jing Fosher talks about the Pure Land and how wonderful it is. How the water matches your body temperature however you wish. And you can wear clothes just as you wish. They appear on your body. And then when you want, they just disappear. And you don't have to clean them. Everything is just like as you wish. You don't get a sense that you have to spend a lot of time cleaning in the Pure Land. So maybe you say, well, I want to go to the Pure Land because I don't want to clean. Or perhaps because your nature is so clean and your ability to keep everything around us neat and orderly is so refined that you don't even notice anymore. It just becomes second nature. So right now at the monastery, we're trying to clean up a little bit, cleaning up some places that have been maybe just accumulating things for decades. People make offerings and find a place for them. People donate books we put somewhere, and this kind of items just kind of gather in the corner with a lot of dust. And so as a community now, we're looking to how do we kind of clean up the monastery to make it, as Mario was saying, more spacious and welcoming for those who wish to come to the monastery. And it's actually pretty joyful to kind of come through the monastery and say, okay, so maybe this place could be made in a way that could support people's practice like this, or help support the community in this way. And so the cleaning is done in a heart of service, of care. And is in support of cultivation. So I think of now that we're starting the Lunar New Year. Last night Reverend Heng Sure talked with us and said that there's a kind of a folk belief or tradition in Chinese culture that on the first day of the lunar year you don't clean up because you don't want to lose all your luck. If you clean up your house, then you maybe clean away your luck. And Jing Fosher was very clear. He says, yeah, very important, and you have to clean the day before. Everything has to be cleaned the day before. And yeah, I could see that's a good principle. You clean everything up from your previous year, and as you start the new year, everything is in its place. So still in this kind of maybe first 2 weeks of the new year, maybe we can clean up not just our minds, but the areas around us, making them some place that's spacious and welcoming. Not just for other people, but for ourselves, so that the environment that we live in reminds us to cultivate and purify our minds. Okay, so maybe just that much for this morning, and we can do 3 steps, 1 bow. Today is Tuesday, and so we have our regular recitation at 12 o'clock. Okay.
For of the harmful things I've done, with my body, speech, and mind, from beginningless greed, anger, and stupidity, through lifetimes without number, to this very day, I now repent and I vow to change entirely. For of the harmful things I've done with my body, speech, and mind, from beginningless greed, anger, and stupidity, through lifetimes without number, to this very day, I now repent and I vow to change entirely. For all the harmful things I've done with my body, speech, and mind, from beginningless greed, anger, and stupidity, through lifetimes without number, to this very day, I now repent and I vow to change entirely. Now we transfer merit and virtue. May every living beings, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may our minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light dispel the darkness of our endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of painters into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. Bowing respect to the Venerable Master. This concludes our morning ceremony. At 12, we'll recite the Buddha's name for 30 minutes, and at 6:30 p.m. we'll have evening ceremony, like every day. So hope you can join us. Wish you all a good day and see you next time. Amitofo.